Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. Today we have got an exciting topic for all the talented software engineers and product managers out there who might be considering a move to Canada. So if you're currently in India or the US, this one is for you. Canada has become a hotspot for skilled professionals like you, and in this video we will explore the advantages and disadvantages of making the big move. There are fantastic migration programs like Express Entry, Global Talent Stream, and even some favorable work permit policies for spouses of skilled professionals. Plus, there's great news for H-1B holders and their spouses with the recent announcement of the open work permit. So let's check out all the avenues that can lead you to make Canada your new home. But before you pack your bags, let's get down to the business. We will provide you with a comprehensive overview to help you make an informed decision. So let's dive right in. Today, we will be looking at two key aspects that can help you decide whether migrating to Canada is the right choice for you. We will start with the professional side of things. Question number one, can your current skills land you an awesome job in Canada? We will give you the lowdown on how your skills could fit right in. Next up, salary talk. How much can you expect to make in Canada? We will give you a ballpark figure and some insights into average compensation packages. Career growth is essential, right? We get it. We will discuss the potential for climbing the career ladder in Canada and the opportunities that await you. Work-life balance. We will explore the work-life equation in Canada. So whether you are eyeing the bustling cities or the serene countryside, we have got you covered. Let's get ready to unlock your potential in Canada. Can my skills get me an equivalent job in Canada? As you might guess, the answer to this question isn't a simple yes or no. It depends on your unique experiences and where you have worked before. But don't worry, we've got some valuable insights for you. To paint a clearer picture, we gathered data from various wage reports and surveyed 43 amazing individuals who migrated to Canada on permanent residency. They are all software engineers or product managers with diverse backgrounds and work histories. These talented individuals have had between 4 to 9 years of experience in the field, and a good chunk of them hold master's degrees, whether it is a Master in Science or Master in Business Administration. Let's get into what we found. Those who managed to get internally transferred from their companies in India or the US had a stroke of luck. They retained their job titles and continued in the same positions with the same level of seniority. Now here's where it gets real. Some folks couldn't secure an internal transfer either because their companies lacked local branches or other reasons. As a result, they had to look for new jobs in Canada, and that's when they faced a bit of a challenge. Their skills were indeed valued, but they often had to settle for comparatively junior positions. For instance, an L6 at Amazon or an L6 at Google, which are moderately senior roles, had to accept roles like software developer or product manager, or in some cases roles like senior software developer or senior product manager with fewer responsibilities, much down-leveled scope and impact than they were used to. Innovation and the complexity of customer and business challenges in Canada may not match that of the US or India, as Canada is still catching up by a couple of years. So here's the reality check. There's a high likelihood that your skills, while still valuable, might not land you an equivalent job with the same scope and responsibilities in Canada unless you secure an internal transfer. Even for those fortunate enough to get that internal transfer, some of them still felt bummed about the types of customer and business problems they are solving at work. This impacts the kind of impact they could make, and it's something worth considering. Now, when you're planning your move to Canada, it is essential to come with realistic expectations. If you're not getting an internal transfer, brace yourself for a bit of a down-leveling in your job title and responsibilities. It's not ideal, but it's a common reality for many skilled immigrants. The reason behind this is the so-called lack of Canadian experience, which is a subtle form of discrimination, especially if you're a person of color or have a non-native English accent. And there's also this long-held belief that new immigrants should start from the bottom, just like generations of immigrants before. Not the most pleasant thought, but it is something we need to be aware of. Remember, this isn't meant to discourage you. It is to prepare you for what might lie ahead. What salary can I expect? Alright folks, time to talk about money. We know it is essential to understand the salary landscape for software engineers and product managers in Canada. So let's break it down for you. If you are a software engineer with 4 to 5 years of experience, you can expect a median base salary of around 110,000 Canadian dollars, along with a 10 to 25% bonus and some RSUs depending on your level. For those with 6 to 9 years of experience, you could be looking at around a median base of 140,000 Canadian dollars plus 10 to 25% bonus and RSUs. While those numbers might be high end, it is not uncommon to see software engineers with 6 to 9 years of experience earning a total compensation of around 120,000 Canadian dollars, including base salary and bonus. Now let's move to product managers. Their median salaries are similar but slightly less than the software engineers. If you had 4 to 5 years of experience, expect a median base of around 107,000 Canadian dollars with additional 10 to 25% bonus and RSUs in the mix. For those with 6 to 9 years of experience, you could land a median base around 138,000 Canadian dollars with additional 10 to 25% bonus and RSUs. Here comes the reality check. If you're coming from the US or India, get ready for a substantial drop in your compensation and spending power. For example, if your base salary in the US was 200,000 US dollars and you decide to move to the Greater Toronto area or Greater Vancouver area, expect around 132,000 Canadian dollars. Converting to US dollars, that's nearly 100,000 US dollars, approximately half of your US salary. Sure, some rock stars might score similar pay in Canada, but on average, for most software engineers and product managers, it is realistic to see your salary halve after the move. Now for those making the jump from India, things are a bit different. If you were earning between 30 lakhs to 75 lakhs in Indian rupees, which is around 50,000 Canadian dollars to 125,000 Canadian dollars, you could see a numeric increase in your salary to 100,000 Canadian dollars to 140,000 Canadian dollars at the max, especially if you end up in Toronto or Vancouver. If you land in Montreal, Calgary, or Edmonton, your salary could be in the range of 70,000 Canadian dollars to 120,000 Canadian dollars. But hey, let's be honest, this can still be a significant downgrade for many median earners in software engineering or product management from India. Be prepared to adjust to a material hit in your salary and lifestyle if you're making the move from India, especially if you're earning well in India. Remember, it's not all about the numbers. Canada has its unique charm, and for many, the quality of life and work-life balance make it worth the move. Just be aware of what you're getting into. How will my career progress? Now, we won't sugarcoat it. Canadian businesses and the work culture in Canada tend to be more risk-averse. Unlike the hustle and impact-driven mentality you might have experienced elsewhere, you won't find that same level of ambition within technology companies in Canada. Many highly ambitious and risk-taking Canadians often leave Canada and migrate to the US for more significant opportunities. So, given the nature of Canadian businesses, it's essential to set your expectations. Be prepared to experience a slower pace of career growth compared to what you might have seen in India or the US. And here's a tough truth. This can be especially true if you are a person of color, visible minority, or someone with a non-native accent. While there are exceptions, they tend to be outliers. Unfortunately, in Canada, career growth can be tied more to who you know or who you went to college with, rather than solely on the impact you demonstrate. It's a reality that there's a legion of talented individuals, particularly people of color, who get passed over for promotions. Shockingly, the likeliest reason stated is that they are not fully in tune with the Canadian work culture. It's heartbreaking to see that these same individuals might not face similar hurdles in the US or India, where their contributions are acknowledged and rewarded. Even for those fortunate enough to get internally transferred, some find themselves reaching the glass ceiling too soon in Canada compared to the US or India. So let's be real here. If you're ambitious and hungry for rapid career growth, Canada might not fulfill that desire. It's no surprise that many ambitious Canadians choose to leave Canada for the US, where they can chase their dreams on a bigger stage. But hold on, this doesn't mean that Canada is without its charms. The work-life balance, the beauty of the country, and the welcome communities can make it an appealing destination for many. The key is to be aware of what you're getting into and find the right balance between career growth and quality of life. For some, the slower pace might be worth the trade-off. It's all about finding the right fit for your aspirations and values. Is work-life balance achievable in Canada? Alright folks, let's dive into an essential aspect of your professional life in Canada, the work-life balance. It's time to find out what this beautiful country has to offer. Canada is known for its incredible work-life balance, often ranking up there with the likes of the Scandinavian nations. Imagine having colleagues who frown upon working overtime and going above and beyond. In Canada, you will experience a refreshing flexibility to leave early, and guess what? Efforts are made not to contact or bother you outside of work hours. It's all about finding that perfect balance between your professional and personal life. The work-life balance in Canada is second to none, and it easily beats the work-life equation you might have experienced in the US or India. It's like a breath of fresh air. On a professional level, you might have to make some compromises. That could mean down-leveling in your roles or significantly reducing the scope of your responsibilities and the size of your impact. And yes, we won't sugarcoat it. Taking a substantial cut in your overall wages might be part of the package too. On a professional level, you might have to make some compromises. That could mean down-leveling in your roles or significantly reducing the scope of your responsibilities and the size of your impact. And yes, we won't sugarcoat it. Taking a substantial cut in your overall wages might be part of that package too. Career growth might not be as rapid as you are used to, and the path to promotions might be slower compared to the other places you have seen. It is essential to be aware of these trade-offs. So to summarize, you will face some challenges like down-leveling and slower career growth, but let's not forget the bright sides. So to summarize, you will face some challenges like down-leveling and slower career growth, but let's not forget the bright side. Canada rewards you with an amazing work-life balance that few countries can rival. It's all about considering where you are in life and what you truly value. Remember, there is no one-size-fits-all answer. It's about finding what aligns with your goals and priorities. Whether it is career growth or work-life balance, you can make the best decision for yourself. Now that we have explored the professional side of things, it's time to dive into the personal factors, and this is where it gets exciting. So stay tuned. Within the realm of personal factors, we will tackle some burning questions that might be on your mind. We are going to cover all this in the next couple of minutes, so let's get right into it. First up, the dream of home ownership. Can you own a house soon in Canada? We will shed some light on the real estate market and what you can expect as a software engineer or a product manager. Healthcare is vital and you want quick access to it, right? Well, we've got you covered. We will discuss Canada's healthcare system and how it can benefit you and your family. Education for your kids is a top priority. we'll explore the education system in Canada and what awaits your little geniuses. We all want to save up for the future. Can you build up your savings while living in Canada? We'll give you some insights on that too. Lastly, family matters. Can you bring your elderly parents over to be with you in Canada? We will talk about the options available for family reunification. Alright folks, that's a lot to cover. Get ready to dive into these personal factors. Can I own a house in Canada soon? We are diving into a critical question that's been on the minds of many. Can you own a house soon? But before we get into it, buckle up because there's a housing crisis we need to address. As of June 2023, Canada is facing a huge housing crisis, and the prices for various types of houses in major cities have been skyrocketing. Let's take a look at the numbers. Now, most tech jobs are concentrated in Greater Toronto area and the Greater Vancouver area, with a few scattered in Montreal, Ottawa, Calgary, and Edmonton. With the hybrid work model becoming more prevalent, you might find yourself leaning towards the Greater Toronto area or Greater Vancouver area if you're in the tech industry. But here's the kicker. The housing supply in the Greater Toronto area and Greater Vancouver area is limited, while the demand is through the roof. Many people stretch themselves thin to afford a home due to the exorbitant rents in these regions. Naturally, folks start questioning if they're better off paying their own mortgage instead of someone else's. The reality check: to purchase a decent dwelling in the Greater Toronto area or Greater Vancouver area, you will need a minimum down payment of 100,000 Canadian dollars and a household income of 230,000 Canadian dollars. But hold on, we've got some strategic advice for you. If you're willing to explore remote job options with US companies, living in more affordable cities like Calgary or Edmonton might be the best bet. There you could get away with $50,000 down payment and a household income of $100,000 to afford your dream home. The soaring interest rates result in hefty monthly mortgages ranging from $2,500 to $3,200. Unlike India or the US, there are no tax benefits for the interest paid towards the mortgage on your first home in Canada. So to sum it up, unless you've got a down payment of $100,000 and a household income of over $230,000 in the Greater Toronto area or Greater Vancouver area, owning a home might not be a breeze for you in the current times. But don't fret. There are still possibilities and opportunities out there, and we will be diving into more housing related topics in our upcoming videos, so stay tuned. Will I get quick access to healthcare in Canada? Alright viewers, let's talk about something that's close to all our hearts: healthcare in Canada. It's time to understand how it works and what you can expect. Canada boasts free healthcare, meaning you don't have to pay when you visit a doctor for non-cosmetic, non-dental surgeries. It's free because healthcare is prepaid through your taxes, either as income tax or sales tax. You won't go bankrupt due to major illnesses or surgeries, and in life and death situations, you will receive treatment fairly quickly. But here's the catch. If your condition isn't life-threatening, be prepared to face substantial wait times to see a specialist. Here's how it typically works. You find a family doctor who acts as your primary care physician. But here's the tough reality. Approximately 6.8 million Canadians, which is 17% of the population, do not have a family doctor due to scarcity of healthcare providers. And this number keeps growing every day. For the 83% who do have primary care, your family doctor will refer you to a specialist based on your needs. The waiting game starts here, and it can take days for urgent cases and many months for non-urgent ones to get that specialist appointment. Once the specialist sees you, they can schedule your treatment, including surgery. However, the waiting doesn't end here. It depends on their availability and the availability of the hospital bed. Before COVID-19, the wait was around 5 to 8 months. But now it's not uncommon to hear about people waiting for more than 2 years. In the emergencies, you can visit an emergency room or ER at a hospital. But here's the concern: many without family doctors or those who can't get appointments frequently visit the ER. Before COVID 19, the average wait time was around 3 to 6 hours, but now it's around 22 hours. Tragically, there have been cases where patients have died while waiting due to a lack of available doctors. It's crucial to know that this differs greatly from the US, where wait times in ER are still manageable, or if you have a PPO, you have more choice in visiting doctors and specialists within the preferred network. Coming from India, the difference can be quite shocking. In Canada, quick access to any doctor or specialist is possible if you can afford it, while in Canada, you may face substantial wait times. So while healthcare is free, it's essential to be mentally prepared that quick and on-demand access might not be the norm. Understanding the system will help you navigate it better. How is the education system for my kids in Canada? Alright, let's talk about another essential topic: education for your kids in Canada. It's time to discover what options are available and what to expect. Canada offers a mix of publicly funded and privately funded schools. You have the choice to send your kids to private schools, but keep in mind that fees vary from province to province, ranging from 10,000 Canadian dollars to 40,000 Canadian dollars per student per year. And if you have more than one kid, you might get a 5 to 10% discount on total fees. Now, when it comes to publicly funded schools, which are free, there's a catch. You can't send your kids to just any school you like. The school they attend generally depends on where you live, whether you are renting or owning a house. Each school has a catchment zone, and if you live within that zone, your kids can attend that school. No wonder areas with highly ranked schools have high demand, leading to a higher house price and rent. In terms of academics, Canadian schools are not as rigorous as you might find in the US or highly competitive India. While the US has a more structured AP program or advanced classes, Canada has fewer of those. Only a small number of schools offer AP or advanced classes. The Canadian education system focuses on creating a more relaxed and enjoyable learning experience for students. Efforts are made not to grade or rank students. Your kids will enjoy the lack of competitive pressure in Canadian schools, promoting a more fun learning environment. So there you have it. Canada offers a range of options for your kids' education, both public and private. Just keep in mind the catchment zones for public schools and the varying fees for private schools. Will I save enough money in Canada? It's time to tackle, will you save enough at the end of the day in Canada? Let's break it down and get real about the cost of living. The cost of living in Canada can be very high, and unfortunately, wages might not always match up. Your salary may not stretch as far as you would hope in the Great White North. Let's crunch some numbers. Say your base salary is around $150,000 and you're a family of 3 living in a 2-bed, 2-bath rented condo. After taxes and assuming no retirement contributions, you will have $8,000 per month in hand. Here's how the cost of living breaks down. Your savings, 3,000 Canadian dollars per month, which roughly translates to 2,300 US dollars or 1.8 lakh rupees per month. Now let's look at a typical 120,000 annual pre-tax base salary. After taxes and assuming no retirement contributions, you will have 6,800 Canadian dollars per month in hand. Your savings will be around 1,800 Canadian dollars per month, roughly 1,400 US dollars, or 1.1 lakh rupees per month. Keep in mind, once you start contributing to your retirement account, your in-hand cash availability could halve. But don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom. Life can be easier if both partners are working and your household income is closer to 230,000 Canadian dollars in the Greater Toronto area or Greater Vancouver area. For a typical combined household income of 230,000 annual pre-tax income, your overall savings will be around 7,400 Canadian dollars per month, which roughly translates to 5,700 US dollars per month or 4.4 lakh rupees per month. Now compare these savings with what you're currently saving and decide for yourself if Canada is the right fit for you or if you're better off where you are. Now compare these savings with what you are currently saving and decide for yourself if Canada is the right fit for you or if you're better off where you are. Remember, being informed is the key to making the best decisions for your future. Can I bring my elderly parents to Canada? Let's explore another critical aspect, bringing your elderly parents over to Canada. It's time to explore the options and see what's possible. Canada is quite liberal when it comes to inviting your parents to stay with you. They can either come on a tourist visa for 6 months or get a super visa, allowing them to stay for an impressive 5 years at a time, extendable for another 2 years. Now here's the big one. Canada also offers a program for your parents to get permanent residency. However, it is essential to know that it is oversubscribed every year and there is a lottery system in place. It's all about the luck of the draw, and while some succeed on their first attempt, others keep trying year after year. Nevertheless, there are pathways to bring your parents to Canada and have them stay with you for an extended period. So, to sum it up on a personal level, Canada has both its upsides and challenges. While quick access to healthcare may not be guaranteed, you won't face crippling costs at the point of treatment. The country provides quality free public education for your kids, but you might have to compromise on your lifestyle, especially if you're already used to significant savings in the US or India. It's essential that both partners work and earn well to maintain a comfortable standard of living. And here's the fantastic part. Unlike in some other countries, you can have your parents stay with you for extended periods and even have the opportunity for them to become permanent residents. So, there you have it. Canada offers a mix of opportunities and challenges on a personal level, and it's all about making the right choices for you and your family. So thank you for joining us today. We hope this comprehensive discussion has provided you with valuable insights into moving to Canada for software engineers and product managers in the US and India. It is important to carefully consider all aspects before making a decision. While Canada offers tremendous opportunities and a high quality of life, there are also potential challenges that one must be prepared for. Each individual circumstances and preferences are unique, so thorough research, planning, and seeking advice are crucial steps in making an informed choice. If you found this content helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, share, and subscribe to our channel for more informative videos. Stay tuned for our upcoming episodes where we will continue to bring you exciting topics and opportunities. Ring the notification bell so you won't miss any of our future content. Until next time, take care and the best of luck on your professional journey.